So we finally have the official Avengers 4 trailer, officially Avengers Endgame. And although this is only a teaser trailer, it was pretty intense. And of course, we finally got the official title. They waited all the way until the first teaser trailer came out, but we finally got it, Avengers Endgame. So just to clarify, this is my personal breakdown. I have actually done an analysis with a special guest that I'll be doing in a separate video as well. But this is my personal breakdown, so let's just jump right into it. So we start with a very eerie scene with Iron Man's helmet just destroyed. This of course is the result from his fight with Thanos on Titan, and he used a good amount of his nanobots up when he fought him, as we saw in Infinity War. It starts with him turning it on, tapping on it to see if it's working, saying, "Is this thing on?" because he's recording a message for Pepper. If you notice that a blue light from the helmet sort of scans over him, so maybe this is a video recording, but no doubt that he is recording a message to Pepper here. And it's really sad because he's stranded in space right now. He's on Star-Lord's ship, which actually answers a question that many people had about Infinity War, which was, are Tony and Nebula actually stuck on Titan, or was Star-Lord's ship still there? A lot of people thought that since Thanos threw the moon at it, or part of the moon at Titan, that maybe the ship was destroyed. It clearly was not, because he's on it now. Nebula is there too. We find that out in a later scene, but as of right now, she's sort of just giving him his space because he's about to die. He says that food and water ran out 4 days ago, and his oxygen supply will run out tomorrow. So for Tony, this is it. This is the end of the line for him. And it shows him staring off into space, just thinking about everything that's happened. And of course, at the end, the last thing he thinks about is Pepper, his fiance, the love of his life. So this is Tony giving up. He just got crushed by Thanos. Thanos performed the snap, and then Tony got stranded in space. He's just run out of food, and he's just run out of water, and he's going to run out of oxygen, and he's going to die. So he records his final message to Pepper, his fiance, and then he turns it off and accepts his fate. So that's pretty much the first minute of the trailer, and it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be heavy. It's supposed to be intense, because the last thing that happened was the snap. The Avengers lost, Thanos won. So Avengers Infinity War ends with, and Avengers Endgame starts with, the defeat of the Avengers. Then of course we have the Marvel Studios logo, and of course it turns to dust. And then we see the Thanos Scarecrow, and we actually saw this at the end of Avengers Infinity War. And this is actually sort of a tribute to the comics, because in the Infinity Gauntlet saga, when Thanos is defeated, he goes and becomes Farmer Thanos, and he puts his armor on a Scarecrow in an attempt to scare anybody who may come. And then we kind of see Thanos. It doesn't completely show us Thanos. What it really focuses on here is the Infinity Gauntlet. Because if you take a look at the Infinity Gauntlet, you can notice that it is still damaged from the snap. We know the gauntlet is permanently damaged. The Russo brothers have said this themselves. They said that there was a cost to using the Infinity Gauntlet and performing the snap, and it permanently damaged Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet. The Russo brothers have also confirmed that this is in fact a different planet. It's Titan 2, a new home for Thanos. So Thanos is on a different planet, and he and the Infinity Gauntlet are permanently damaged right now. Then we cut to the Avengers facility, where Black Widow is saying that Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of all living creatures. And you can see Natasha sort of choke up when she says that, and you can see Steve crying. Because not only did they just lose people that they loved, but they lost as the Avengers. They weren't able to prevent the snap. They weren't able to prevent half of the universe being wiped away from existence. And then we have this scene right here where Bruce Banner is looking at a holograph screen, and it shows missing persons, and you see Scott Lang, and you also see Shuri. Now you can notice that those red letters to the bottom right of each picture says missing. This is kind of interesting because they don't really know where these heroes are. They don't know where Scott Lang is because he wasn't in the events of Infinity War. But it's really interesting that Shuri is on there because they were in Wakanda and she was in Wakanda too. And the Russo brothers at one point in time said that she did in fact survive the snap. But a good majority of the Avengers were in Wakanda. Shuri was helping them. They all met Shuri. So did she fall victim to the snap, or did she perhaps run away somewhere for whatever reason? Because the Russo brothers did say that she survived, but that could always change. There was a lot of filming that happened in between when they said she survived and the teaser trailer. But then you can see that her picture actually changes to Peter Parker. It's very curious that they have Peter Parker up there because this is clearly a missing Avengers profile list here, but I wasn't exactly sure if any of the remaining Avengers actually knew Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Clearly, they must have known or somehow found out because he's there, but they obviously do not know where he is because he's on their missing persons list. Then we see a clip of an empty Avengers headquarters. Then we see Thor, because he's back on Earth now because he went and got Stormbreaker, came back, fought the Battle of Wakanda, almost killed Thanos, and now he's with the rest of the